be on set. The Transformers movies are getting more and more extreme.
Wow, that was crazy.
Here's how the most dangerous stunts and explosions came together. Welcome to Explained. Let's start with the stunts on set. The Transformers never failed to deliver high-speed, action-packed scenes. And Rise of the Beast is as intense as ever. Like in all Transformers films, they focus on getting as close to the action as possible. And they do this using a Baybuster. This custom stunt car has a cage on the outside that pushes cars out the way while forming car flips. And for faster and tighter maneuvers through the rubble, they use smaller, customized go-kart looking cars. Real stunts play a big part in these films, and Anthony was pretty good at hitting his mark on his own stunts. You made Transformer film history by wearing the exoskeleton suit. Did you have to do any stunt training?
I worked with the stunt team, so I would come on the weekends. Like, we would shoot during the week, and then I'll come on Saturdays and I'll work with those guys and learn the choreography. And it was originally supposed to be a stuntman who was supposed to do that whole scene, and they were just gonna put a visor on his face, and so you were never actually gonna see my face. Steven was also talking to Gary, who was doing our VFX, and they were like, yo, we gotta see his face in the scene. Thankfully, they allowed me to do most of, like 80% of that, if almost all of it, that fight sequence you saw.
The actors had to be physically fit to hike to Machu Picchu to film. The altitude wasn't the only challenge. They also had to deal with unstable weather and other elements. Stunts in the previous film have been equally challenging. They had Mark Wahlberg hang out of the car, hang off a roof, and slide down a massive alien structure. Even Laura Haddock was pushed to the limit. But one of the most dangerous stunts they pulled off in this series was when they jumped off the Trump Tower. This was obviously done by professional wingsuit jumpers, and the glide through the city was carefully planned. Next is the pyrotechnics and CGI action. The animation for Transformers fight scenes isn't straightforward because each Transformer has his own fighting style. So before CGI work starts, they choreograph fight scenes with real fighters.
We did some live action things with, for instance, the cars, and then we'll have sometimes we'll have a character in a blue suit or a gray suit, depending on the thing. But because they're humans and we can't get it at that scale, a lot of it just comes right out of the computer-generated imagery, where we're really pushing straight out from the beginning. We're designing the characters to do the fights themselves.
Pyrotechnics also plays a crucial role in filming and CGI work. Small explosions are detonated on set during a robot fight scene, and this gives actors something real to react to during a battle.
3, 2, 1, Dinox!
In Rise of the Beast, Stephen Caple Jr. told us about the insane moment when Anthony accidentally caught on fire while filming. What was the most dangerous stunt you filmed with the actors on set?
But they were running in this one shootout scene in this museum. Anthony Ramos' coat caught on fire as he was dodging the bullets and on his knees. So that was a scary moment. He didn't even notice it, thank God. But the rest of the cast and crew did. We saw his starter jacket caught on fire once, and then it went out, and we're all like, did we see that? So it's actually used in the film because it was the best take. But yeah, that was pretty scary. Thankfully, Anthony didn't know what was going on. He was caught up in the moment.
Large explosions are simulated on set during robot fight scenes. Take a look at this scene on the highway where a bus gets ripped to shreds. The bus is rigged so that it splits in half during the explosion. For some chase scenes, they cover trucks in blue paint, and they have them smash through cars on the roads. And it ultimately looks like the Transformers smashing through traffic. Next are the Transformers themselves. Bringing the Transformers to life involves a lot of CGI work. A lot of the time, the actors had to talk to robot faces mounted on poles, and this wasn't easy. We saw a lot of new Transformers, but who were you interacting with when you were actually filming the scenes?
Zero, nothing, air, talking to the sky. They came in with the tennis ball. You know, we anytime we do those scenes with the Transformers, you just look at the tennis ball, you kind of rehearse it a couple times, and then the AD is like, all right, you guys got it? And we're like, yeah, sure. And they pull the tennis ball, they pull it out, and then you do the scene.
Sometimes they have parts of the robots built for the actors to react to. On the other hand, some of the robots were built for real. Frenzy was one of them. He was more like a life-size puppet, and even used him on set for a couple of scenes. The most epic robot they built was the 18-foot tall Bumblebee. He was mostly made out of foam and fiberglass. While he couldn't walk around, they could make him move a little with airbags. To make robots stand out even more, they recorded unique sounds for each robot.
You're looking good, man. There you go. Now we're friends.
Animating facial expressions for the robot was hard. So to make it look more natural, they filmed the facial expressions of the actors while they voiced their characters.
And forge a new army. Begin again.
You can't fight the inevitable.
This gets shared with the CGI team, and it helps them bring out the emotion and facial expression better.
What are my orders here, Prime?
Which is your favorite Transformer, and what did you think of the movie?